Hello YouTube. I haven't done a video like this for a long time, so I thought I'd do this after huge news today. For all those of you, I guess, who may have not known, Pokemon has announced new games and generation. Generation 6 has been announced. The games are called X and Y. I've heard a couple different theories of why they may have called it that, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm not gonna have any flashy videos or pictures, but so you can just listen to me. So from the, I think it was like 2 minutes long at most, clip of what Pokemon showed us, it looks like it's all 3D. People are complaining about this not being on DS, but it's a 3D Pokemon game. You can't exactly ask for it on DS. The DS would not be able to take it. If you watch this video, you'll understand this. A normal DS Lite or DSi would not be able to handle that game. Not to mention, it's a 3D game. It's got to be on the 3DS. So, that's just my stand on that. But, yeah, 5 new Pokemon were announced. Obviously, the 3 starters, because they always seem to be one of the first. So, they got... Sorry for the pronunciation, I think it's Chespin, the grass-type starter. A lot of people are comparing it to Oshawott. I can understand that. It's kind of like an Oshawott Slowking mix grass-type. It kind of has like spiky head shell thing. Then the fire-type is a Firefox called Fenneking, or something like that. Something close to that. Kind of cool. Some are thinking that it might be a fire psychic type, like it might evolve into a fire psychic type, which is cool. I'll talk more about that later as well, because I do have something to say about that. And then there's the water type. Water type is a frog called Froakie. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick out of the 3, but Froakie is interesting to say the least. It's cool that they picked a frog, because, you know, we haven't seen any of those at all, have we? Whole lineups. I was thinking that we haven't really seen that many, but then I thought about it, and we have a bunch of toads. So a lot of people would say toads and frogs, same kind of deal. But yeah, so I can understand that. So we've had a lot of frogs, but I mean, you kind of overlap seeing a lot of animals. It's Pokemon. Get used to it. My beard and stuff looks really weird in this. Oh well. So continuing, I'm gonna have my thoughts. We all know that Pokemon was going to make a Gen 6. Some people were debating it, but I knew that it was going to come out. I was hoping that the announcement was going to be Ruby and Sapphire remakes, as Sapphire's been my favorite game forever. Black 2 is definitely up there, though. So yeah, first I'm going to go over my thoughts of what the game looks like. But first I want to mention, we knew Gen 6 was coming out, so a couple of expectations I was hoping for Gen 6 was, I was hoping they would lean off from the Dragon Legendaries, and the 2 Legendaries they did show, one could represent a dragon, so I'm a little iffy on that one. But overall, I think he's cool looking, and I will definitely respect them for making one dragon. I can't totally, like, diss them for making one more Dragon Legendary. I just don't think they should have all of them Dragon Legendaries. For the past 3 gens, they've had Dragon Legendaries like crazy. They need some new ones. I mean, I know they have had other Legendaries, but all the games for the last 2 were based off dragons. The last 2 gens were based off dragons, and generally there was abundance of dragon Pokemon and legendaries. I think we need to focus on more types and try exploring with those, because the dragons are just too overpowered. So then the rest gets on to, I was hoping they'd stop with the fire fighting starters. For the past 3 gens, we've had only firefighting. Like, we've had Blaziken, Infernape, and Emboar, all firefighting, 2 of which are still overpowered and not much. Well, they count. There's counters, but still, they are fast and they are strong. I think we need to see some changes in the fire types and the grass, because the grass has been a little lacking. The grass starter has been lacking. I don't know how the stats are going to look for these ones yet. I'm hoping they'll do a little better on the grass types, because I think grass types are underhanded and thought of as defenses, when really I think grasses could take a very strong offense, but they haven't had a chance yet, in my opinion. So that's a little on Pokemon and what I thought it should do. Not disappointed by the looks of it. The fire starter does not look like it could possibly go into a fighting type. I don't know. They could go crazy and make it weird. I think it'd be a stretch. Yeah, I don't think so. A lot of people have been saying it might evolve into a fire psychic. I can definitely see that. That'd be cool. Make it some like spin-off of what Ninetales does and looks like, and make it better. Make it what Ninetales should be, because I think Ninetales should have been a psychic type anyways. Then like I said, one of the two legendaries were not dragon, and it's going to be a cover, so that's cool. That's something new for us lately. So I'm happy about that. Next, my thoughts are the graphic about the game. The graphics they show look really nice. It's solid. There's no flaws that I could see. The beginning shows the character looking into a mirror, and then it goes on to show him running through a city, and running through a small city and running through a big city. A female character running across a flower field, and then down some bridge. It looked really good. It was really nice, really solid. No flaws, no glitches, no slow motion, which I was a little scared of. But I'm still a little worried. I want to see more from Pokemon to see what they're going to do with this. I want to see if load times are going to be long, like exiting routes, like the little gateways in Black 2 and White 2 and Black and 2, like in Unova in general. The little gateways between like the city and the route. Sometimes they had those gateways with the electronic billboard. I wonder if the load time's going to be slower, where it is a lot more graphic and a lot more data, like the 3D and the graphics are all data, so I wonder if it's going to slow down the loading process, which would be bad, but I don't think so, because Pokemon's generally good with loading. As well as, what was another complaint? Or, not complaint, but worry. I was worried about the story. With all this data, I'm worried that they can't stretch a story. They can't have a good not overwhelming, but a good not a black and white story. Black and White, I lacked a story. It was a great game, great features. It was a solid Pokemon game. It was great. I love Black 2. I play it all the time. I love White. I still play it. I hunt on that all the time. I try anyways. I love the games, don't get me wrong. The story lacked for me. It wasn't the story I played in Sapphire. Sapphire was great. It just was a great Sapphire was a great game. Favorite game ever, because it just had so much story. You start off, you just want to go. Like, you're just set off. It's not really like, oh, you have to do this, this, and this. You just go off, do your own thing. As you progress, more and more story comes along, you know. Oh, there's Team Magma. Oh, there they are again. I think, no, Team Aqua. And there's Team Aqua. Oh, there they are again. Okay, go off. Oh, there's a dude. Let's go deliver this to him. Alright. Oh, there's Team Aqua again. And it just slowly gets more and more. And it's like, alright, you go a couple cities. Oh, they're stealing a meteorite. Why? No idea. Let's go find out. Let's save the world kind of thing. But I found Black and White. The whole Team Plasma, it was a nice idea. Liberation of Pokemon. Yeah, alright. It felt more like we were just talking to them and we beat them before they did anything, which was a little depressing. The fact that, why not let them have a little bit of things that they've done that you have to stop them from continuing. I didn't find that was evident in any of the Unova, any of the 5th gen games. So that was a little lackluster for me in storyline. So I'm worried about all the graphics overwhelming and not having a good story, as the games have been seeming to do. If there's a lot of graphics or features, not a very good story. So I'm hoping they rebound from that and have a great story. They started to in Black 2, I will admit that. Black 2 and White 2 had alright story. It was very solid. Short, though. Alright, then brings me to the after story. I found all 5 gen had none. Lots of things to do. Not necessarily a story, like not necessarily post-game story. There was routes to be explored and cities to unseen, but it was kind of like you can go see them. That's it. Not like, oh, you know what? We find more Team Plasma there. That never happened. You never like, oh, look at this. I'm playing the game and oh, look at this. I beat the Elite Four, and you show up at New Vem town, and there's nobody, like, there's nothing to do there. It's like, oh, look, new town, nothing to do. Unlike when you're playing through the first part of the game, every time you reach a city, something cool happens. After you beat the Elite Four, all those new towns, nothing happens when you reach them. I find that's a little unfortunate, because if we go back to, Gold and Silver, we can use them as a perfect example. You beat the Elite Four once, it's like starting the game over. There's all new gyms, all new things to do. It's something new to do. Like, there is more places, and it's not like, oh, we arrived at this place, oh, look, there's a gym, let's go challenge it. Oh, I can't yet, like, Cerulean. Oh, I can't yet, gotta do something. That's not the case in 5th gen at all. So I find that was a little unheartening for me, because I was a huge fan of Platinum and Diamond. Platinum was my first DS game, and I loved it. It's one of my favorites. My favorites probably go Sapphire, Black 2, Platinum. Black 2 only goes above Platinum because Black 2 is better game features and play, where Platinum was great story, including an after story. Like, you beat the game, a whole new island unlocks, and you go, and you're introduced right away to the Battle Frontier. They got rid of the Battle Frontier in 5th gen. I don't know why. I still question it. They need to include it in Gen 6, or I'm seriously questioning what they're doing. But yeah, you're introduced to Battle Frontier. You battle Elite Four and Gym Leader again, and they introduce you, and you can go on your way throughout this Battle Frontier, winning medals, and it's like kind of like gyms, but harder and more difficult, and show what Pokemon really need to be used and what you have to do. And it's a good way of playing Pokemon. Like, it's a different aspect, just on the battling side. Then the other place is the Frival area. Not so much of a welcome, not really much of supporting my case here, but there is the battlegrounds where you can battle people over again. That does make it so that you want to go back there. I found a lot of the Unova region after I beat the game. I didn't want to go back there, and there was a lot of it I just didn't want to. I find myself in Nimbasa, Sky Arrow Bridge, and the PWT. That's it. Nothing else. Joint Avenue too, once in a while. But that's it. I don't find myself wandering the arena or area unless I'm trying to shiny hunt something, and lately I've been doing only MMs, so I find I'm not exploring the area much. Where in Platinum, I felt like I was all over it. So, Platinum, Stark Mountain, oh, there's Team Plasma? No. Galactic. Galactic again, trying to steal the meteorite, trying to get it heat ran. Little after story, nothing crazy. I mean, you don't need to make it crazy. You just need to make it so that I want to continue playing. I don't want to just beat the game and put it down. Or I don't want to just beat the game and just go train without trying anything new. Just do what I've been doing, kind of thing. I don't want to do that. I want to play the game, have fun afterwards. Kind of like the Mystery Dungeons. Mystery Dungeons, perfect example of playing after the game's been done. Credits do not mean anything. They mean you have successfully beaten a point in the game. I don't see them as an ending point. I don't see them as I completed the game. I see them as I beat this part. Kind of like a tutorial, Credits are like, oh, you beat the tutorial. Now you can do whatever you want. Yes, that's how I kind of see it. That's really my only negative things. I'm worried about the story, the speed, the loading. But the speed looks like it's fine. I'm not sure about text speed. I want to see that. So next is the battle. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but 1 or 2 people that I've talked to are worried that like entering the battle might be a little slow because of it. But I think that'll be alright. The entrance into the battle has changed. It looks kind of cool. Like what I saw was grass, and then separated, and you saw Pikachu. That's cool. That's a neat idea. I find it's almost an unneeded animation because it's not really like, oh, you're in grass, suddenly you see grass in front of you split and there's a little Pikachu avatar there. No, it's you run to grass, the screen goes black like it's always done, and then you see this animation of grass, split, Pikachu, and then I'm figuring it would go black again and go into the battle sequence. Because the battle sequence does look different. I could be wrong. I hope I am, because that seems like unneeded segmenting parts and animations. So I hope I'm wrong on that aspect. It looks like it could be pretty cool though, entrance thing, but almost unneeded. As for the actual battle scenario, perfect. This is what they should have done last gen. This is what they needed to do. Go watch how they do the battle scenario. It's awesome. They show Pokemon attacking, show Pokemon getting hurt, show Pokemon reacting to being hit, and then recovering and continuing the battle. It's not turn-based. It's still turn-based, which they'll have to work on. But Pokemon's turn-based. We're gonna keep it at that for now. I don't want them trying too much at once. Eventually, I hope they get time-based, not turn-based. You know, who strikes faster, who does what. But I almost feel like that'd be an unfair battle system for Pokemon. So that's one thing. The Pokemon sprites themselves, fully 3D, fully, turnaround. That's what they were aiming for lately, and this is perfect, exactly what they wanted. They're not the sprites from Pokedex 3D Pro, or whatever, Pokemon, or Pokedex iOS on the iPads or whatever. It's not those. This is new sprites. They're pretty cool. Go watch the video, seriously, I really recommend it. Go search it up, Pokemon X and Y. You'll get more information there than from talking to me, and of course my light goes dim for me. Those are just some of my thoughts. So the biggest thing that I hope come in this game is Battle Frontier. Character customization, that was mentioned. I highly doubt it from the looks of it. And third, less dragon legendaries. Those are my 3 biggest things that I hope they don't do or don't do, depending on which one. I hope mostly. The biggest thing I think would be Battle Frontier. If they brought that back, I'd be happy. I'd be really happy. Character customization, they should have it by now. They should bring it into this one. They can. So, yeah, I guess there's not much more to say. I'm waiting for more information. I want to see how the game's going to turn out, how many Pokemon they're adding to it. Some say they're only adding a few. I highly doubt. Oh, sorry. I highly doubt that, because this is Pokemon. They're not going to add 50 Pokemon randomly. That's not a generation of Pokemon. We don't really care about you guys, and we're just going to give you something new because you're complaining about it. I don't see Pokemon that way. I think they're going to do a new 100 and something Pokemon. I think they need to work on some new types, not necessarily new types like make some weird one like Plasma type. I mean like work on some of the types that they haven't really progressed highly in, like Poison maybe, or I don't know. Ghosts seem to be doing well. Steels and Poisons and Bugs, try to make better ones of those, I guess. I mean, there's some pretty cool ones like Volcarona, Ferrothorn, and Toxicroak. Those are all doing well, but I mean, generally dragons are just running rampant. Make something else. You could probably do a pretty cool Poison Legendary. Maybe that would be something we gotta talk to Pokemon about. Hit it up. Poison Legendary. Maybe someone could do an avatar for me. Make an avatar of a Poison Legendary. Do something crazy. That'd be cool. Yeah, but that's my thoughts. Maybe you have different ones. Send something down below. I would love to talk to you about your thoughts. Maybe you can say something that I don't say here. Theories about the name? That'd be cool. I've heard a couple different ones. I think it's dimensions. Someone else said it's gender related. It could possibly. I find the X legendary kind of feminine. Reminds me of a Salzbuck Verzion mix. As for the other legendary, I don't know. Maybe a Ho-Oh. It looks very Ho-Oh-ish, kind of, but spikes. Gonna get you. I don't know. Yeah, comment what you think of the new games. Any thoughts? Any, like, the pros and cons. Pros and cons. If you're gonna put a pro, put a con too, because nothing's perfect. And I'll end it with that, because this is a long video. I've just felt like ranting about my thoughts. There's a lot out there. And I figured, you know what? I'm bored, and I have something to do. Alright. Pace. Work on that poison type legendary for me.